We have the potential for even more unique team-ups here. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 4 of New Panty and Stocking. And last time we got a pretty unique team-up by having Stocking and Scanty working together. Could we end up getting a knee socks and panty episode? Could we get a pairing with like maybe one of the Demon Sisters and Brief? I would like some like really unique pairings here. But we had them last time. They ended up interacting with this ninja class thing, which ended up being run by a ghost. And might have been voiced by Keith David. I'm still not sure on that. But we had a couple other segments too. We had the Fast and the Furious sperm ripoff. We had the entire thing about like them getting so obsessed with social media attention that it was turning them on. A lot of fun stuff. And so now we're going to get into today's episode. Not going to waste any more time. Hopefully, we just continue to enjoy this and have a lot of fun. So let's get into it. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I feel like this is sorry, I'm trying to figure out the words to say here. This episode took me on a journey. And I was not prepared for this. Like, I recorded City before this. And, like, I'm in a good mood. I'm expecting, you know, fun, goofy, sexy shenanigans. And what the fuck was this? Like, it's not even just the last of these 3 segments. It's, like, most of them. The second and the third one. The first one is whatever. The first one is called Dawson City President, and it's, like, it's whatever. Panty being sentenced to death because apparently the president enacted a law banning sex or whatnot. And so Panty's gonna get executed, which we know won't work anyway. But they're either way trying to save her by like running for having Stocking run for president against him. Find out the dude is a ghost anyways, kill him really fucking easily. It's like he doesn't even put up a fight because he's just so obsessed with business. And yeah, Stocking loses the presidential race either way because somehow the car wins. I don't understand. I don't get what. But the car pardons Panty, so she gets out of it again, even though it wouldn't have killed her anyway. Um, and the thing is, we know like it actually like was put into effect because she when they found out she was pardoned, like she was the switch had already been pulled. She was already being electrically shocked. So yeah, it's just it, it just doesn't work because she's an angel. Um, but okay, it was definitely the weakest of the segments here, but it wasn't like bad or anything. It was just kind of confusing and uninteresting comparatively. It was definitely not that great. But then you have the second and third segments, and it's like, okay, second segment, we have Pet Cemetery Hills, obviously named for Stephen King's Pet Cemetery. We see her break the tombstone of a cat. We get where this is going. And then the episode fucking made me cry. Like, what the fuck? This is Panty and Stocking. It's not supposed to make me cry. It's supposed to make me cringe. Like, what? Like, I'm being serious here. Like, you saw me in the reaction, like, wiping my eyes like this, and it's like, that's because I was tearing up. Like, legitimately. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? Because the episode, like, after that, like, we see Panty's uncensored tits, which, okay, that's a thing. I understand like that the Amazon version is uncensored, but I didn't think it was gonna go that far. Of course, we also did see a dick. We did see a dick a few episodes back, so I shouldn't really be surprised. Um, but it's like I just wasn't expecting that. You know, I just wasn't expecting like full uncensored tits. I mean, they were like pointy, but still. Um, okay. Either way, um, they end up waking up to find out that this cat ghost has come into play, but it's not big enough to like get enough heaven coins, and it's not actually aggressive in any way. So Panty, in order to try and get more heaven coins, decides to try and like fatten it up. She overfeeds it. She doesn't let it exercise. She's trying to get it to like be worth more because by making it bigger. But during this, she unexpectedly starts growing attached to it. So the next day, when she comes back from being out and is told that the cat, which she named Vibes, has gone missing, she freaks out, and she I don't even think she fully realized how attached she became to Vibes. But she freaks out and goes out and finds Vibes standing in front of the house, and we see that I think this is the first time we've seen in this series a ghost peacefully passing away. And we find out apparently that the cat, like when alive, was neglected and not really loved well. And so, having received all that love from Panty, even if it was misplaced initially, allowed it to find contentment and happiness and pass on it. It's just like, this is just making me cry, man. Like, I love animals, and it's like, this shit is like sad, but also really happy because it's like, it's actually like the only episode of this series where a ghost has just peacefully passed on. I think I can't think of any other example of that where a ghost has just found love after having not been able to receive that in its life, and it's like that's just sad. That's just emotional. It's like that shit's just getting to me. It's like, what the fuck. And even though it ends off like with Panty remaking the gravestone, this time out of dildos, um it's just like, it's still like surprisingly sad and emotional and poignant, and it's just like, Jesus, what the fuck. It's like, you're not supposed to make me cry. Stop it. Stop being sad, stop being sentimental, stop being really nice. I wasn't prepared for this, damn it. And then we have the third segment, and it just goes into entirely like what the fuck territory. Shoot for yesterday. So apparently, a time traveling or space traveling more. The time traveling comes in later. Ghost cube thing comes down to Earth, starts infecting people with the dots, which turns them into an '80s cartoon. That's basically the joke. They become like an old, or maybe even pre-'80s. I think it's maybe pre-'80s, like maybe '60s or '70s, because even '80s cartoons looked more finished than that. Maybe '60s or '70s cartoon, but like a really old school cartoon where it's like there's not a lot of movement. The designs are like super hyper realistic and intensely drawn and all. Um, it's very wild. And so at first people are just being turned into those kind of hyper realistic forms, those hyper stylized like classic cartoon forms. But then they start turning into like specific references and stuff. Stocking ends up being turned into, I have to assume it's supposed to be the Thing from Fantastic Four. Nisox is a crocodile for some fucking reason. What I don't understand that one. And Scanty and Panty, well, Scanty gets turned into just a hyper realistic version, but Panty gets turned into a hyper masculine, hyper realistic version, and it's just like, okay, sure. And they try to fight this thing. They do the best they can, but they lose. They actually lose, and it gets to a point where it's like Panty is like contacted by the Silver Surfer character, the Baywatcher, and they have to go into the past. The Baywatcher had been there the entire time, had lost his memory and everything, but like wasn't really a help. And in the end, like he and Panty went into the past and destroyed the cube ghost before it could arrive on Earth. And then we saw future Panty and Baywatcher like kind of go off and do their own thing, I guess. While, well, actually, we saw both Baywatchers there, because when they went into the past, they did like interact with past, or I guess technically present Baywatcher. So both the Baywatchers and future Panty went off and just did their own thing, I guess. While nobody in the present was the wiser for what would have happened otherwise. It's one of those stories where it's like the time travel element just kind of like causes it to reverse to the point where none of that would exist anyways. It's one of those like paradox things. Because it's like, by stopping the demon or the alien cube ghost, they're making it so that none of those events happen, which means that future Panty and future Baywatcher wouldn't exist either. They would just cease to exist. Yet somehow, paradoxically, they still exist and are able to continue on doing their thing. And it's just like, what? The entire thing was super confusing and threw me off super hard. I was just like, I had no fucking clue what was happening, if I'm being completely honest. Um, and it just, it seriously, it felt like I was high or something. Like, it was probably the most thrown off I've been by an episode of this series, which is saying a lot. It just, I feel like I wasn't even talking a lot. I don't even know if that's true, but I feel like I wasn't because I didn't know what to say. I was like just so confused. Like, why was Nisox a crocodile? I don't understand. And why was the only thing she could say crocodile? Is she a Pokemon? I don't know. I just don't know. But for that, like, absolute brain fuck of or of a segment to come right after Pet Cemetery Hills, which again made me cry. It's just like I I was not prepared for this. Why did you have to do this? Like, why? I feel attacked or something. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that this episode was pretty fucking crazy and weird and wild. And nothing about it could ever be even slightly expected. But I guess I guess I enjoyed it. I think like it definitely got my attention. It definitely like kept my interest and my engagement. That much I can't argue with. I just I'm just very confused. But tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie. I'm fucking lost as hell, and I'm signing off. See you next time.